There is a particular kind of loneliness that does not come from being alone. It comes from being surrounded by people who are supposed to know you, yet somehow never really see you. Many individuals sit at family gatherings, share meals, laugh at familiar jokes, and still feel like a foreign presence, as if they were adopted by accident into a world that does not speak their emotional language. This experience is deeply confusing, because family is where belonging is expected to be automatic. From a psychological perspective, this feeling does not emerge randomly. It develops slowly, often invisibly, over years of subtle emotional experiences. In many families, love is present, but emotional understanding is limited. Parents and siblings may care deeply, yet only understand a narrow range of thoughts, behaviors, and values. When a child naturally deviates from those unspoken norms, by thinking differently, feeling more deeply, questioning traditions, or developing a unique inner world, the family system does not always know how to respond. So instead of curiosity, the difference is often met with silence. Instead of validation, it is met with minimization. And instead of connection, it is met with subtle distance. Over time, the individual learns a painful lesson. To belong, I must edit myself. This is where the feeling of being an alien begins. Psychologically, families operate like emotional ecosystems. They prefer balance, predictability, and familiarity. When one member evolves differently, emotionally, intellectually, or morally, it can unconsciously threaten that balance. Rather than adapt, the system often labels the different one as too sensitive, too quiet, too difficult, or too strange. Not because they are wrong, but because they are unfamiliar. Many people who feel like outsiders in their families are not broken. In fact, they often possess high emotional intelligence, strong introspection, and a deep awareness of human complexity. They notice things others overlook. They feel things others suppress. And they question patterns others accept without thought. But awareness can be isolating in environments that value conformity over understanding. Another critical psychological factor is emotional invalidation. This occurs when your inner experiences are repeatedly dismissed, when your feelings are explained away, compared, or ignored. Over time, the nervous system adapts by pulling inward. You may stop expressing yourself, stop sharing your inner world, and eventually stop expecting to be understood. At that point, the alienation is no longer external. It becomes internal. You may begin to feel like you are watching your family from the outside, playing a role rather than living authentically. This creates what psychology calls emotional detachment as a survival strategy. It protects you from disappointment, but it also deepens the sense of isolation. Importantly, feeling like an outsider does not always mean your family is cruel or malicious. Often, it means they are emotionally limited in ways they are not aware of. They may love you deeply, but lack the psychological tools to meet you where you truly are. This is why many individuals feel more understood by strangers, books, or ideas than by their own relatives. These spaces allow the self to exist without constant translation. There is also a developmental aspect to this experience. As people grow, their identities become more defined. When personal growth outpaces the emotional growth of the family system, distance naturally appears. The mind expands, but the environment remains the same. And growth can feel lonely. From a psychiatric viewpoint, it is essential to understand this. Feeling like an alien in your own family is often a signal of differentiation, not pathology. It means you are forming a self that is distinct, thoughtful, and internally guided. The pain comes not from being different, but from being different without emotional witnesses. Healing does not always require cutting ties or dramatic confrontations. Sometimes, it begins with accepting a difficult truth: your family may never fully understand you in the way you need. And that realization, while painful, can be freeing. It allows you to stop seeking validation where it cannot be given, and instead build emotional safety elsewhere, in chosen relationships, creative expression, or inner self-acceptance. Belonging does not always come from shared blood. Sometimes, it comes from shared understanding. And if you have ever felt like an alien in your own family, know this. You are not defective. You are not ungrateful. You are not alone. You are simply someone whose inner world is larger than the space you were given to express it. And that awareness, though lonely at first, is often the beginning of a deeper, more authentic life.